Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemor, the dad in DPS, and we are back with another episode of The Good, the Scrap, and the Script series where I test out weapons in Appalachia and see how well they do. Now, today's weapon is kind of fun, kind of toxic, and kind of daft. Either way, like, comment, subscribe, and then it's just a little prick. So, today's weapon is an Aristocrat's explosive VATS action point cost crossbow. Now, I don't think I've reviewed a crossbow on the channel before. I could be wrong about that. But today we're using the poison frame on here. And the reason for that is poison on this weapon can be quite interesting. Same with any bow, to be honest. And we're going to test out how well it works. As usual, this is the build. Don't, stress too much about it. This is what we're using. Move on. Do the usual stuff. Alrighty, so this bow. Now, what I'm going to say about this bow is you do not want to use this up close. I have made that mistake a few times, and this thing will, I'm going to look at my health. Like, look at that. Look at how it instantly, utterly destroyed me. This is not a weapon that you ideally want to use indoors. But, for the sake of showing you how daft it is and the damage it can output onto you, I'm willing to show you me dying. But in terms of what it can do, it's very interesting. Because as you can see, against this guy, he is essentially being two-shotted. Now, with poison, that's obviously killing him right away. It is a slow burn, a slow tick. But what you can do is you can aim it, fire it, wander away, deal with enemies. What I'd say about this weapon is it's very good at tagging things. This is the type of weapon that I would recommend you use at events like Test Your Metal, Eviction Notice, and Radiation Rumble, because this is going to allow you to tag enemies without immediately killing them. And I like weapons like that. I like the idea of weapons like that because it allows other people to do things that it just allows people to do other things. Don't get me wrong, you can kill these enemies relatively quickly if you make sure that you're hitting your shots with VATS using headshots and things like that, which can be difficult because bows have awful accuracy in VATS for some reason. They will die. One shot will take them out. And it's an interesting weapon. It's not one that I would say that should be used in every given scenario. Certainly not. I don't think it's powerful enough to be used in every single scenario in the game. But yeah, that was a crit. Why did that miss? I shoot this when it was a crit. But you're seeing when you actually shoot things, they will die. It's not like an instant killing weapon. I'd compare it more to the cremator in terms of the way you should use it. You should use it to tag enemies and then move on to your next target, come back when they're dead. It's not something that I would recommend that you just keep pummeling the same guy in the head with damage. It's just not going to help you in that sense. Move on, go find another target to kill, and then come back, and then shoot them again. And because of the way that the system have shown how dots work, you can see exactly if you're going to kill them because of the handy little bar. Just shoot. He's not dead, or he's not going to die, so we shoot him again. He's still not dead, so we shoot him again. And now we know that he's dead, we can just move on and go find something else to shoot. It's a case of pick up the loot later. Not everybody's playstyle, but it is certainly one that's going to work. And as I said, because it's explosive, you can shoot at will to tag them. So if we had other people here, I'm not directly killing the enemy. There is a lot of uses and a lot of reasons to use different weapons. And sometimes people forget that it's not all about just doing the most damage. Sometimes it's about letting your teammates and your friends get some hits in as well, because it's a team game. It is a team game, and there's a reason to use lots of different types of weapons, lots of different types of things in this game. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say this is the best weapon to ever use, but it is an interesting thing to use because the poison damage is relatively fun and relatively interesting and different. Different is always good. Now, there is one major downside to this type of weapon, and that would be robots. As you can see, robots are completely unaffected by poison damage. So this has the major downside that using it against robots is just not going to yield you any results outside of just your basic damage. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be able to kill this guy, but the main point of my weapon, the main point of using this, is not there. Alrighty, we come to big old Jeff. Now, what we're going to do is see what we can do. Now, you're seeing the poison damage on them is relatively decent. We can get some good headshots on them. Now, the problem with this, and the problem with any of the dot weapons, is that against big targets, you can see that you do a relatively decent amount of dot damage, but it takes so long to tick down and so long to peter through that it's just not really worth using them on this kind of thing. I would say that this weapon is best utilised against large groups of trash mobs. Like, this is the type of weapon that you would use with lots of enemies in a kind of small area to be able to relatively slowly to allow other people to get a chance to hit him. I think it's a weapon that has its niche, but it isn't a giant killer. So, we come to the Mirelurk Queen. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to try and kill her very much, because I just don't think, I think it's like an effort and futility. You can see like the damage this thing does to her is actually decent, but you sort of need to get optimal ammo usage, wait until her health ticks down. You will be able to kill her. You will 100% be able to kill her. Like, there's no doubt in my mind you'll be able to do it. But is it worth the time and effort? Probably not. You know, it just feels like you're going to be standing around for an awful long time, just kind of taking pot shots at her, hiding behind walls, backing up. You know, it is doing it. It is killing her, but it just feels very dumb. Like, very dumb that what you need to do is just sort of do that and just kind of let her die to silly things. Like, honestly, the best way to do it, just hide behind the wall and just do it this way. Like, you're gonna be able to kill her, not gonna be quick, gonna be kinda cheesy and kinda boring. And as always, we come to expeditions. Now, when it comes to expeditions in general, I tend to go on the side of poison damage and, like, in general, any form of dot is king here. Now, this is very true against these enemies, but the problem is, yet again, the pollinators are always a pain in the backside, because they like to heal anything that you shoot at. Now, without the pollinators there, these things are just fodder to the poison damage. Like, literally fodder to it. They die well, not instantly, but they die pretty damn quick to the poison damage that you can do. And this is the thing, like, even just grazing them will kill them off. You don't need to worry about it at all. They just do not have the resistance to dots that other creatures have. So, if you're using this weapon in here, get rid of the pollinators. Like, use your vats, your resources to get rid of them. Once they're dead, then you can move on to the other targets and you'll be fine. Because, yeah, this weapon in here is going to do very well. If you want to put fire on there, I think it'll do just as well. But, oh god, there's more than one pollinator. I hate them. I hate them so much. But yeah, the pollinators are the only real problem. Like, everything else is going to die pretty damn quick. So, you know, if you can ignore them, probably should. Against the humans, Yeah, instantaneous murder. Against the bosses in here, you're probably gonna have a little bit more trouble, but against the humans in here, like, this is a perfect weapon to bring in here to deal with the trash mobs and just kill them with minimal effort, especially on the places where you have to stand and there's like 5 or 6 of them all gathered round in a corner. You know, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to kill a bunch of them pretty easily. It's not difficult at all. And you don't even need to, like, properly just graze them and they will die. So that was today's video. Now, when it comes to the poison frame on the bow, I think it's got a use. I definitely think it's got a use. Do I think it is the best possible iteration of this weapon? No, not really. I think if I was using different effects on there, maybe I would get some better use out of it. But the poison is certainly going to kill enemies. It's certainly going to kill most of the enemies in the game, apart from, you know, the big chunky things. So it's not a boss killer, it's just a daily driver. Very good in expeditions for taking out most of the enemies in here, especially if you can just, you know, skip the pollinator part in the expedition. But otherwise, it does well. It does consistently well. I'm not going to say use this weapon every single time you do anything, because it's not that type of weapon, but it is usable and it's fun. But be careful, don't shoot yourself in the foot, you will die. Well, if you're bloodied, you're definitely going to die. But either way, that is what it is. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.
It's a nuclear bomb, stabbing and swooping wild like a lark, testing weapons, bang bang sparks, radiation hum high and glowing stark. Swinging it down Appalachia Trail, Mothman legends, cocktails prevail. Strip for the traders, scrap on sale, building forts, raiders on our tail. Oh, the good, the scrap and the scream, wandering wasteland, loose on the lip. Barter and hustle ain't just a quip, survivors dance, got a weapon on the hip. Oh, the good, the scrap and the screed, wandering wasteland, loose on the lip. Barter and hustle ain't just a quip, survivors dance, got a weapon on the hip. Crafting stations, tinker's delight, fixing shotguns, new rifles tight. Ghouls round the corner, gotta fight, day turns to night, it'll flash up bright.